And just welcome back to the floor, to the conversation couch, the chill space. And we're just interviewing, people that are coming to the festival for the future. They bring different stories, stories that otherwise we won't be able to hear, just because most people don't have the platform. But this platform is inclusive for communities, organizations that want to share, their copapa and their corero. So welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. We've met before, and but for those who are actually listening and watching us, if you'd like to introduce yourself.
So my name is Shannon, and I am 18 years old, and I'm from Christchurch /Shawan. I live between two places, so.
Fantastic. So, Scarlet, what's your superpower? Tell me, what's the kaupapa that you're representing today?
So my superpower is ADHD and autistic, and I'm here representing my group, the Young Neurodiverse Champion, but also too, I do advocating work for young people with disabilities and foster kids.
Cool. That's really awesome. To be honest, this is my ignorance, but this is the first time that I come across with this group, which is really awesome, by the way. And for people that are listening to us, we really want to know more of what you guys do and how you guys came about. Would you be able to let us know this sort of thing?
So we kind of new group. So ADHD New Zealand Gifted Education, Autistic and Dyslexia Foundation all came together, and our lovely two kind of bosses, top people is Justina and Matt. So they put money together because we have no funds. So put money together and we all worked, and we just went through interviews. And so we're pretty new to the whole group and to the whole kind of hello, welcome to us. So.
Oh, that's absolutely amazing. I've been having wonderful corridors with many of your colleagues and kaupapa, and God, it's such an insightful advocacy which you guys do. I know you have a passion specifically with Oranga Tamariki, and talk us through some of that.
So I have been in care since 2010 now. So I've been in care for 13 years. So I was taken in. I think it's kind of funny how they took me there. I was 5. We get taxed at my school. So I was 5. It was taxi time. I didn't go home in the taxi. And we have kind of those rooms with that old school, base school. There's a room between two classes. So I was in there hanging out. And then 2 ladies came in and took me away. But they had to bribe me. Well, I think that's the funny part. They had to bribe me with a cookie time cookie to get me into the car. But yeah, so I've been on quite a long journey. If I remember correctly, I've been with over 250 homes in Christchurch alone. I've been through, the system hasn't been the nicest to me. I have been bullied, actually starved for 3 days. I've had pocket money stolen. I don't have it with me at the moment, but in where I'm staying, I have a big teddy bear that I take care of, and I've had him since I was 5, and he's the only thing left that I was able to save since I've moved from home to home to home.
One of the things that resonates to me in the Correro is the system.
It's valid.
The system that it's not working. What would you say to those politicians in Parliament?
Please change the system. It's just so failing. I'm not the only one, but Inharangi, who is also advocating for foster kids and mental health, we literally just need so much advocating and support because it is failing. There's so many of us that have failed, and I've recently learned what I am very disgusted by is that we have home. So they've been home for years. That kids that don't have anywhere to go, or we have shortage of caregivers going to these homes. But I've really learned that they have youth justice kids, youth one, are putting them with young kids that are they're just looking for a home, mixing them together. And I was kind of in a situation, but in a girls only home. And so with doing that, you're going to have the older ones teaching the young ones that are just looking for a home how to be naughtier.
Yes, it's we've heard time and time again in these spaces how the catering for neurodiversity and the need for safety and protection for
Yeah.
those which are actually quite vulnerable. Ranga Tamariki, I think we've heard from the debates yesterday that some of the politicians are actually giving quite sort of just generic answers because they're too afraid to tackle or even put their hands up, say like we don't know how to fix this, but they're not willing to learn. What would you, as there the advocacy as a cohort that you guys do to influence that?
So when I was a youth MP for Duncombe last year, I did a big speech about how the system's unfailing and what we could do, like mainly more training. So with caregivers, they only get like a day training or like not much training. Like it's ridiculous. I didn't realize this, but they get hardly near to nothing for like not much training. They get like first aid, like level certificate for and that stuff, and show co-worker. So my one that actually helped me today, she like is underpaid, and she has 20 of us, and she's so overworked, and I've kind of come for nosy, have noted that her environment is actually kind of toxic. Like, there's just so much that needs to change. I've also been with Open Home. The Open Home's amazing, but it's just terrible. Like, we have people that are undertrained, under resources, don't know what they're doing, or with my case is I've noticed, no offense to the older people out there, but a lot of older people.
No, keep offending. Absolutely.
There are a lot of older generations, like relatively 50 plus. I've even had like 80 ones having foster kids, but I don't know, it's more to feel them loneliness. A lot of them are single, like middle-aged old ladies that have no family.
Absolutely.
Or kids have left, and so they take in foster kids. They kind of like feel the emptiness inside them, I feel like.
I just it resonates to me so much, the system, the policies that are not working.
Yeah.
And we had we have a political debate here last night at the Festival for the Future, and one of the things that came out from the corridor was bureaucrats are actually getting paid more than the frontline workers, the workers that you were mentioning, our social workers, our teachers,
mentors as
our
well.
mentors, our counselors. They're not getting paid well. They're getting overworked, and then we put so much pressure on them, and the compensation is like minimal.
I know.
And that's when our system is working, and we need to fix it from Parliament. It has to be fixed from
the top.
the top bottom.
Actually, with Youth Parliament, I actually read a few of like the laws and rights about like the foster kid and youth with disability, and it's just terrible. Like, have any of you guys actually read the history of disability?
Not extensively.
It is quite a hard read, but it is just terrible. Like what they did. I might be able to find you a copy, maybe. Like I can give my email address, but it was terrible. If you ever read the full history of disability, what they did. And I was kind of terrified because when I was reading it, I realized that one of the like health camps that they put kids that were like young people that wasn't fit to, I realized that my old school were on those grounds. And I was like, horror nightmare.
That is quite horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, I could go on for another hour. Just to wrap up, I know we're coming to. We have to let you go back into your stall and do your mahi. But before you go, please, if you can have final word, you can actually look into a camera. Mm-hmm. But if you can speak to those people with neurodiversity who don't actually feel seen. You can speak to the powers to be. Like, if you can give us a message.
So, like, too much I have that with people with neurodiversity, especially, don't feel like you're weird. Like, I know I've spent hours in my room crying, but know that you can be anything. I know it sounds like but you can be anything, and that if you believe it, you can achieve it. Don't let anyone stop you. And for the foster care system, people in Parliament, if you do not fix the system, we are going to go downhill. And also, too, this is the reason why we have so much crime in Christchurch, like gangs. The reason why we have so much gang violence, especially, is because foster kids are dealing with gangs can feel like families. So we really need to change the system, especially.
Kia ora. Thanks for sharing that kōrero and being so brave to come in and speaking your truth.
Yeah,
Because it's so
because
important.
now people need to hear the truth and not to hear like the pretty lie, the pretty like makeup. But no, they need like the real truth and what's actually happening.
Absolutely. We need more young people that are brave and courage to come in front and say to those politicians, that system that you set up is not working for us.
I think
and
we just
need
need to
fix
rechange it, like redo it, like
Absolutely.
no one's
Absolutely. If I can borrow the
booklet.
booklet.
That's for you guys, by the way.
Oh, thank you very much. So this is the Neurodiversity in Education Coalition. You can find them on those.
We have
there's-
TikTok, Instagram.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure we have everything.
Yes.
Besides
Give us your
OnlyFans.
socials.
I don't think we were talking about getting OnlyFans, but then we were like, no.
Thank you so much, Scarlett, for coming to Couch Session with us. Thank you for listeners. Please look out for Neurodiversity in Education and Coalition. Lots of advocacy work, and we thank you. And join the OnlyFans.
I just love because we were debating it on the way here. Should we get OnlyFans? We were like, no, we're not going to. Like, I wish we got it just because we don't have OnlyFans, but we pretty much have like Twitter, everything else besides OnlyFans. So
That's cool to know. Kia ora.
Thank you very much, Scarlett.